All right, welcome everybody to our live stream today. We're going to be covering a relatively new feature or functionality in Brightspace here at NICC anyway, Creator Plus. So Creator Plus is just an add-on to Brightspace, a way to just very easily just create some engaging and D2L actually advertises it as a delightful way to engage your learners with their content. So I'll go ahead and use that same language there. So Creator Plus has several different elements to it. There is a insert element function, which we'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about layouts and also practices. There's also a media library video creator. So we won't be covering that piece today, more on that coming soon. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to my friends here on the stream, Jordan and Shannon.
Thanks, Travis. We're going to start with the first element of Creator Plus, which is layouts. So I believe I'm sharing my screen. There we go.
Yeah.
So when you're in Brightspace and you've hit create a file in your content, you're working in an HTML page, this is where you'll find Creator Plus. So you're going to look for the plus here in your text editor. And these three items here are Creator Plus elements. So we've got layouts, practice, and element. The first thing I'm going to look at, layouts. This essentially just allows you to put your content into columns and just a small amount of content, or it can be a larger amount. That's entirely up to you. So I'll go ahead and click on a 3-panel layout, and then you can just type your content in here however you would like to. You can paste videos and images and things like that in here as well. And that's pretty much it. Layout's pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there are other options in terms of layouts at this point, just columns, although I wouldn't be surprised if more were to come soon. I know that Creator Plus is something that is continually evolving. So the next thing we'll talk about is practice, and this gets a little bit more exciting.
And that's me. And if we can switch over to my screen, I've got in a sort of a practice HTML page here, I have some generic content about intrinsic motivation. I'm really excited about Creator Plus. I've really started using it just in the last couple of months, and the possibility of what you can do with this, with the HTML page, makes me realize just how useful it is to start building a lot more of my content in the HTML pages and forgoing the docx files. Easier to update as well. So one option in here is practice, which is really neat. So I have, in fact, I'll show off what I just did first, and I'll show you how I built it. So kind of in the middle where of the HTML content, I want, in a way that's currently disconnected from the gradebook, I want learners to have the option to kind of practice their knowledge and see if they did comprehend, the lesson, the video, the content I had up above. And so I filled out every possible field for this true-false question title, question description. We've got a hint, which is kind of neat. So it echoes some of those Brightspace quiz tools, even though this isn't connected to the gradebook. And then there's some feedback that can actually come through to the learners as well. So when they're practicing, when they're at home, when you've got a flipped classroom kind of setup, kind of a natural place for you to kind of be there or sort of offer that guidance as they go, even if you're not there live. So I'll show you how I built that. So if I edit the HTML page, and true false is just the simplest one, but we can do this. A lot of ways to do this. And another feature of just Creator Plus I really like is just how fast it is and how intuitive it was. You saw how I just was able to edit an existing question with that little pencil icon. Really, really simple to kind of make these changes. So it looks pretty similar to sort of the quiz builder where it has the preview on the side. This is where you get to determine, what you want to show to learners, what you want to ask them. I turned on everything here, and you can see those options under options, feedback, hint, and enumeration. So go ahead and remove those. And in fact, I'll try another question since we're here. Let's scroll down. Let's say I want to ask about this source, let's say. So let's go back up to the HTML editor, if it'll let me.
If you go outside of the HTML page and scroll up, that should help.
Yeah, interesting. It's not doing it. Let me cancel. Try that again. I've got dual screens. I got a computer on a box here, a makeshift standing desk. One more time. There we go. Okay, let's put it right up top here. Perfect. So we'll do that. plus button, practice. And let's have Travis choose if Travis from the back end wants to call something out. Travis, what should we do?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. All right. Cool. Okay. So by default, these options will be off, but I can add them. What should we ask about, folks? Do we have anyone in the chat who wants to throw out something, maybe? Any ideas, Shannon?
Favorite Christmas song?
Okay. Oh, have you survived the Wham-a-thon challenge?
I have so far.
Wow.
So far, so good. Holding strong.
Okay. Christmas challenge. There we go. So we have a description. Text will not display to the learner. View of the practice, interestingly. So this would be just sort of for your own purposes, for your own tracking. Text for me. Oh, that's interesting. That's the title from the question. Okay, so let's go ahead and title this Wham for fun. Looks like we can add images. That's neat. And you can add an image to each. That's cool. Okay, I actually didn't even know this. You can add those alt text, and obviously you can determine, which of the multiple choice is correct. And as you go, you'll be able to see that preview on the right side. You can add more answers. You can randomize the questions. You can do the full preview, which is neat. Obviously didn't finish the question. Yeah, you can preview this live, and that's kind of the functionality I'm talking about. That's why I'm so sold on this. Is just it's real intuitive, even more so maybe than honestly the discussion tool or the quiz tool. Just how light, I like how light it is. I like how I can preview as I go. When you do save, it'll tell you that it's saving and invite you to exit out and go back to your content. And then you get to practice, right, without having to worry about how it connects to your grade book or anything like that. So that's the practice element, and I'm pretty sold on it. And if anyone wants any help working with it, I'd be happy to help them.
Yeah, I will say I really like that that you can use it to break up the content. So if you've got, maybe you want students to watch 3 different videos or something like that, you can have one video and then ask them a couple questions about it. Sort of encourages them to pause and reflect and think about what they've just taken in, rather than just moving along and trying to get it done, right? So it's a built-in pause, a built-in stop and think and practice. Formative, super low stakes, no points attached at this time. Creator Plus may at some point add functionality to put it in the grade book, but at this point, it does not. So it is simply low stakes practice. You can then put these exact same quiz questions on a quiz, or kind of build it into a higher stakes practice or an assessment later on.
That's an amazing idea for incentivizing students to really go through that content, like out of class. I've noticed that a couple of us who are using it are putting dividers in to kind of naturally build in some breaks between the content and the item. That can be useful. Currently, I don't believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Travis, I don't believe you can do any like resizing of the practice element currently. So they're kind of big, but we want the HTML content to come to life. I've seen a lot of courses at NICC that really kind of have lengthy pages, but students move through it at their own pace, and they can return to it at any time. So next, last but not least, I think, Shannon, we're going to elements.
Yes. So if we can go back to my screen. Thank you. So the last piece of Creator Plus is elements, which is sort of an in-between between layouts and practice, right? It is a way to organize your content that is stylistically appealing and interesting, and in some cases interactive. So you've got accordions, tabs, click and reveal. There are a bunch of different options here. Some of them, for example, a call out is not going to be interactive. It's just going to make your content look interesting. So I'll show you an example of that. In fact, I have one pulled up here. This is a page that I have built for one of my courses. This is a call out. So I put the reading assignment here so that it's really obvious, and it kind of, again, encourages them to stop and think about it. And then in this case, I had 3 videos I wanted students to watch, and so I put them in tabs. So rather than seeing them all at once, which might be a little bit overwhelming, they just click one at a time to watch.
Those tabs are really neat, and you can use images instead if you want, and they can go vertical as well. So just kind of playing around with that.
Right. So these are really easy to build. All you have to do, let me go back again, is click that Elements tab and decide what you want to do. In this case, I'll do accordions. You can put instructions. This will be in here by default. It'll just say select each item to learn more, but you can customize that. You'll title your tabs whatever you want here. You can add your content. You have your full text editor in each of these elements. And so honestly, I haven't tried this yet, but you could probably even add questions, maybe not. You can add some of the Creator Plus elements inside some of this content, but you've got your full insert stuff, tools, things like that. So you can add video or whatever you want here. So I'll just go ahead and do this. You can add multiple accordion items. I don't know if there's a limit. I haven't reached it yet. If there is, then you'll preview what it looks like and then go ahead and insert it. It does not look nice until you hit save. Just a little warning there. Once we get down to the bottom of the screen, which isn't going to load now for me either.
That's the only issue I've had with Creator Plus, and I've just had it today for the first time. Everything else just works beautifully.
Well, I probably won't save if I refresh, but that's all right. Well, we'll show you on this sample one. It will look, let me see if I can find one that have accordions in. This is a guess. I have no idea. Nope. Well, the accordions will have drop downs and show the content inside and then collapse when you close them. So it's a nice way to chunk the content, make it so that you're not showing all of the text on one screen.
Very cool. Any last thoughts on Creator Plus? Do we have anyone in the chat, Travis or Caleb?
Looking pretty quiet at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is why it wasn't working, because we were both trying to edit the same.
Oh.
The same.
Are we on the same page?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
I think we broke it.
It works really, really well. It's really impressive. You know, a lot of our faculty are using the HTML pages. It's a really natural extension for them to go in and kind of, it's a really neat way to just breathe a little bit of life back into that content and kind of do something new with it by letting students kind of practice. And the ability to add that feedback is really, really neat. I'm looking forward to doing that in my own courses for the spring for sure.
Yeah, I love making this content interactive and putting things in a page rather than 10 content items directly into a module, because I think it's kind of a cleaner package and it helps students understand how everything ties together.
Right.
So I like to do it that way for sure.
Awesome. Go test it out.
Right. Or join us in 45 minutes or so, a half an hour for our spring prep workshop, and we can help you build some Creator Plus tools.
Nice.